Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you to this Esri India User Conference 2021. The theme of this year's conference is GIS, Creating a Sustainable Future. It's really an important subject for the times through which we are going in these days. Like last year, this year also we had to do this user conference in a virtual manner. And we all know times are challenging, and that's the best way for us to get together. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll be sharing some thoughts about GIS for sustainable economic growth in my short talk today. Our world has changed. Lack of sustainability threatens our future and life. We are going through a lot of challenging times. We have challenges of increasing pollution, ecological instability, water crisis, forest fires are happening at so many places, growth in population, and urbanization brings its own challenges in terms of lack of water or shortage of energy. Cities are congested, creating traffic issues, and we are collectively responsible for this and also about a future. Creating a sustainable future is very much possible. For that, geographic thinking will be essential. We need to make a major commitment to life so that we have a better future, and we must act now. We must dramatically change our priorities. We must address all the challenges that we are facing so that we can restore natural balance. We can conserve our oceans. We need to develop renewable sources of energy, preserve and create green infrastructure, protect our oceans, create sustainable agriculture. And while we do all these things, we have to make sure that we manage the pollution and we scale back the urbanization to a more sustainable way of growth. Sustainability requires a different kind of thinking. Geography provides us the science and language to think in that manner. We need to see the world as a one single ecosystem. Ladies and gentlemen, there are multiple systems that we have as a part of our ecosystem. We have social systems which talk about education for all, better healthcare facilities for all, equity and equality, managing the population growth to provide a peaceful life to our citizens. Then we have economic systems that deal with infrastructure, energy, industrialization, development, and those financial systems which help our communities and people at large. We also have environmental systems where we deal with forests and water and climate changes and ocean health. So these systems, and there are many more different systems which are there today, and ladies and gentlemen, these systems are all interconnected, and we need to keep this in mind while we plan for sustainable economic growth. We need to look at providing a framework for understanding and applying the knowledge that we are gathering through a geospatial infrastructure. Many of you would have noticed that Government of India announced new geospatial guidelines in February this year. It was a historic step. We did not have clarity in terms of geospatial data guidelines for decades altogether, but by providing this new line of thought, a new way of working, giving an opportunity to users and industry to make use of enormous amount of geospatial data which can be created, processed and shared in a very open manner, government has taken a step which is a great step of enablement. We've also seen draft policies for geospatial segment as such. So geospatial policy as a draft was circulated some time back. We also had a draft remote sensing data policy, which many of us have seen and given some comments to government. And then government also released a drone policy which was also required quite a lot for a long period of time, because again there were too many controls, and these technologies today are very fundamental to our economic growth. Drones have become a very cheap, low cost and efficient ways to create data, to capture data, to do different kind of data collection activities. And ladies and gentlemen, the data which comes out of drones, after processing, it becomes a part of the geospatial infrastructure that we need to create for a sustainable economic growth. So once we have these different kind of data sets, then we can bring in technology of GIS systems to ensure that we are able to make use of that data in creating maps and creating some applications to consume that data and help people, different kind of organizations, different departments in solving the problems that they are dealing with. So this technology, GIS and geospatial infrastructure, is an enabling technology. It provides a framework for understanding and applying the knowledge that we are creating. And geospatial infrastructure is transformative. It's a kind of intelligent infrastructure. It's a new way of looking at things. It's a new way of sharing the data and creating some applications for people to use. So geospatial infrastructure integrates all type of data, whether it's coming from drone surveys, or it's coming from LiDAR, or it's coming from satellite systems, raster images, vector data. All kind of data can be brought together as a part of this geospatial infrastructure. And then different maps, layers and scenes can be created and shared with people at large. Sharing is a very important thing. Today, the data that is created, if we do not share with people, then the value of that investment is not fully realized. And the geospatial infrastructure, which is very much required and it's being created in some parts, provides us, brings us the data, the maps and apps and all the content that we create. It comes together and it can be shared in form of geoportals. Apps and maps can be accessed from variety of devices, whether these are computers or mobile devices, phones, smartphones, and it can be shared across with different people as a form of geospatial service which they can consume for their own applications. So organizing and making available a distributed geospatial service is the objective which this geospatial infrastructure helps in solving. And it helps in creating a lot of powerful applications which can help in different segments. It can help in creating different types of workflows and engagement between people. Some of the applications can be run on desktops. There are 3D applications. We have ArcGIS Pro. We have technologies like Model Builder. We have tools like Insights, which lets you go deeper into the data to understand the trends. For large scale usage of these applications, deployments on mobile devices are possible, and they are being done quite a lot. A lot of data collection activities, tracking activities, inspection, work management, field surveys, these are common applications to be used on mobile devices. And then we have pervasive web applications for sharing large scale, and these applications provide us some dashboards, provides different kind of maps and a lot of infographics which can help us in understanding the trends and looking at the different trends and what's going on in that data in form of dashboards and maps to make some critical decisions which can be implemented, and action of those decisions can also be monitored and observed through the geospatial infrastructure and the GIS systems. So the idea here is to empower everyone in the organization to consume the data, to use the applications and for better decision making. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me talk a little bit about ArcGIS. That's also an integrated system. ArcGIS is available in different forms. Many of you are familiar with enterprise, what we call server GIS. Then we have ArcGIS Pro, which is the GIS on desktop. And then there are a lot of apps which are possible to be used through different kind of devices or through the web. Now, ArcGIS system has a number of APIs which help in creating different kind of applications and integration with other technologies. We also have ArcGIS Online, which is our SaaS offering, and it's very popular. Millions of maps are used every day, and the advantage of using ArcGIS Online is that a lot of data which is coming from different sources can easily be integrated into the applications. So, ladies and gentlemen, this geospatial infrastructure is enabling and supporting the growth of usage of geospatial applications for solving very, very complex problems. And ArcGIS is an open and interoperable system. So, it connects very easily with variety of other business systems like SAP or different kind of CRM systems. It follows a lot of open standards like OGC. It supports a lot of open data. The data published by different government organizations, which is openly available, can easily be integrated into ArcGIS applications. ArcGIS also provides a lot of open source solution templates, apps, and I'll talk a little more about what work we are doing in this area. But it's a very important area because those applications help you start faster. Don't have to wait for creating a custom application, and it sort of gives you a solution at a shorter time and at a lower cost. And as I mentioned, there are a lot of open APIs. We have Python API, we have JavaScript API. These APIs are important for creating different kind of applications. So by doing all these, we are helping our users to create an integrated system where the data from one system can go to the other system, and create an engagement can be created across the organization. Of course, Jack will be sharing a lot of things with you right after I finish, and Jack will further explain to you that how ArcGIS system is uniquely positioned to solve the sustainability challenges that the world is facing today. And another important thing is about content. ArcGIS includes a lot of ready to use content, and it's growing almost every single day. Many of you would have used ArcGIS Living Atlas. Living Atlas is a collection of data from authoritative sources and also through community. It has data like land cover, biodiversity, different kind of base maps, weather information, soil information. So those data sets are brought together as a form of living atlas, and because it's a living atlas, you will have access to the most recent data that is available. And ladies and gentlemen, even in India, we have a set of systems that are and a team of people who are always looking to get newer data sets to be a part of this living atlas. So it's an activity which is a global activity, and Indian data is also a part of living atlas that you can access through ArcGIS Online. And also a lot of new data and layers are being created. We at Esri India have taken an initiative of creating India specific content, and a lot of work is being done in this direction, and a team has been put together to make sure that we collect the data which is important for different applications that you all run on your systems. Recently, globally, we announced enhancement on open OSM layers. We also introduced new content about 2020 land cover and a projection for 2050 land cover. Now, this projection is based on what we have seen, what we observe, and it's very useful for us to look at what is likely to go on in 2050 if we take certain actions or if we don't take certain kind of actions. It has layers about biodiversity, it has layers about air quality, it has information about different rivers and forest fires and risks to wildlife. So those kind of data sets have been brought together, and overall this global and local geographical content which we are putting together is going to be very, very useful for a lot of applications that are being created by you all in your organizations. And ArcGIS capabilities are advancing. They are advancing very fast. There are a lot of new innovations happening very, very often these days. Now ArcGIS has a very powerful AI and ML, artificial intelligence and machine learning capabilities. ArcGIS Pro has a lot of algorithms which are already a part of this system, and these are helping you in creating more applications using AI and machine learning. There are more features for spatial analytics and data science. You can do big data analytics using Pro and the algorithms which are available. BIM integration, you will hear a lot more about GeoBIM and Jack speaks little later. There are apps for field operations. There are a lot of location analytics, real-time visualization capabilities, and a lot of image processing capabilities, satellite image processing, image server for sharing the images across the organization and even outside the organization. So some of these capabilities are positioning ArcGIS as a very unique offering, and ladies and gentlemen, this is a journey on which we are all going together. Now when we talk about all these different advancements, one particular area which I mentioned earlier also, this was about drones. Drones are becoming very, very important. In India also we are using drones for a variety of applications. You would have seen that during the times of COVID, drones were used for different activities. There are drones being used for agriculture survey. There are drones being used for things like highway construction monitoring, monitoring different security arrangements, and these are being used for safety and security of people. Many state governments and many central government organizations are using drones for collecting variety of data. We hear about Swamitva scheme, which is a very, very important scheme for the country to take care of the land title for the villages, and its scheme is being launched countrywide. It will cover almost 6.5 lakh villages, and those surveys are going to happen with drones. So processing drone data becomes a very, very important requirement, and for that we have two offerings. One is drone to map, which has been there for quite some time, which is a desktop system where you can bring the drone data, process it, and create the images and content and share. And the second way, which is more important and I would say gives you the capability of dealing with large amounts of drone data, is called site scan. It's a cloud based offering and it's a very robust offering. It's a complete solution and which starts from planning for a flight. So site scan has apps which help you in planning for the drone's flight, and once you plan the flight, that information gets transferred to the autopilot of the drone, and then drone will fly and capture the information. And then that information which is captured is passed on to the cloud system for processing, storage, management, and analysis of the content which you have captured through drones. And SiteScan has a very easy integration with ArcGIS. So if you are using ArcGIS server or a desktop, you can bring that data straight away into a GIS system and use it, or just keep it stored for a future use. So it's a very flexible, robust system which is providing end-to-end workflow for capturing, processing and managing and utilization of drone imagery. And the best thing, ladies and gentlemen, is that it's coming here very soon. We are going to have SiteScan hosted on a cloud within India, and you will hear more in the next few weeks. Having it within India will ensure that the data which is captured in India does not go outside. And using this system, you can create a variety of powerful products like orthomosaics, digital elevation models, different kind of meshes, thermal orthomosaics, and full motion video analysis, 360-degree panoramas. So it has a lot of capabilities for processing the drone imagery. I think it's a need of the hour right now, because so much utilization of drones is happening in this country, and it's a very timely solution which we are planning to launch very soon in the country. Another important thing which I referred to earlier was industry-specific solution and applications. We are doing a lot of work in India. Globally, about 350 such apps have been available for quite some time. But all those apps do not sometimes fit our workflows, because those have been created keeping the whole world in mind, and the way we work in every country is different, and so is it is in India. So we have taken the charter of creating apps through our team in India. These will be pre-configured solutions, and these solutions will address a lot of important needs in different segments. So in the first batch of these apps, we are trying to address 5 areas: local and state government, disaster and emergency management, health and human services, utilities and telecommunications, and homeland security and public safety. So a number of apps are available, and more apps are going to be available, and these will help you in realizing the potential of GIS in a much shorter time. Today, when you set up a geospatial infrastructure, you build your GIS system, you want something to happen quickly. You do not want to wait for a long time. You want to start realizing value from your investment in a shorter period of time, and that's where these solutions and apps are going to help. These have ready-made workflows, they have data models, they will help you build dashboards in a real short time, and they are easy and quick to deploy, and they are fully supported by our team. So ladies and gentlemen, this is going to really make your life simple in terms of consuming technology, consuming GIS, and making use of the infrastructure that you are going to create. I'm very happy to share that this year we are going to be 25 years as a company in India. So Esri India started in 1996, and we are happy to celebrate our 25th anniversary this year. And we are continuing to grow, and our focus on users is growing as we are growing from year to year. And ladies and gentlemen, at this point there are a number of new, I would say, revolutionary changes which we have brought about. First and foremost, you would have seen that over the last couple of years, the way we provide you technical support has changed quite a bit. The response time and the quality of support has gone through a major uplift. Now, the most recent change which we have done now is to provide you a mobile app for reaching out to tech support. So through mobile app, you have multiple advantages. One, you are always online. Secondly, whenever you encounter a problem in the system, you can log a complaint, log a case along with the mobile app, and you can also see the progress of the case through the mobile app because it's always on. You don't have to worry about going and logging in. So it's a major change, and many of you have started using it, and those who are using it are finding this to be really exciting. Other important thing which we had introduced some time back was instructor-led online training facility, which has been of enormous help in this period of pandemic and lockdown when we were not able to provide this training in a classroom. So this is the cloud-based offering which is being used for quite some time. It has many advantages. One, you don't have to be physically present at one place. You can, if there are 10 people, they can be at 10 different places and still receive this training. Secondly, you don't have to worry about very high-end laptops or computers with you, because we provide that through our cloud. So you can use any of the laptops you have to access different kind of training, including ArcGIS Pro training, through the cloud infrastructure. So this has changed training delivery, and we are able to train many more people every year from our user community. Another important area where we are focusing quite a lot is in terms of capacity building and skill building. So, we work with a large number of educational institutes. These are university and degree granting institutes, and we work with about 1,000 of them. They're using our software, and we have put together a dedicated team to support them in updating their curriculum and delivering education to their students in a more advanced manner. We are helping many of these colleges in conducting webinars, conducting hackathons, so that students get engaged and they are able to make use of GIS learning while they are at the campus. Another important thing is that instead of just letting people who are students who are doing postgraduate degree in geoinformatics or civil engineering, it is important that we expose all the students on the campus to geospatial technologies and GIS. And why is that important? It's important because in whichever field they go and work tomorrow, use of geospatial technologies will be required, because there is no segment today where these technologies are not being used. So that's the direction in which we are working, and we would like to collaborate with the education institutes to step this up so that we have more students coming out. There's a shortage of tens of thousands of skilled people in the country with geospatial technologies. Second very important step we took this year was in collaboration with the CSC Academy. They're a part of Ministry of Electronics and IT, and they have this common service centers across the country. So we are closely working with them to provide geospatial literacy to about 10,000 rural women folks. So we want rural women to be exposed to geospatial technology. They are being trained in using GIS on mobile devices for conducting simple activities like a field survey. In rural areas, sometimes data collection is required, and they look for people to do things like agriculture survey, or if there's a construction activity of a highway, then doing a survey for that, or any other kind of data collection. And once trained, these women folks from our villages will be able to do that and also earn some extra money. Ladies and gentlemen, we are also very aggressively working in expanding the GIS community in the country. We always do that, and we are doing it through our initiatives in education segment, collaborating with different government organizations, working with organizations like CSC Academy, and also working with a large number of partners. We have several hundred partners, I think close to 300 partners in the country now, and these partners are helping us spread the use of GIS in different parts, because just Esri India, we on our own probably cannot address all the requirements which are in the country. So this large ecosystem of partners have the capability of reaching different nooks and corners of this country, providing the technology, providing some level of training, and also creating applications, custom applications or implementation of solution templates for the benefit of our users. So that's another important step which has been taken. Users are the most important component of our community, and we try to do as much as possible through webinars and other kind of conferences to share the new things that we are doing, and what is and how you can use GIS, how can you make use of new features that we are announcing each year in your area of work. Ladies and gentlemen, if we keep working in this direction, if we keep collaborating, and if we keep looking for new avenues to make use of geospatial technologies, it will be a great step in creating a sustainable future. Thank you.